So this is the Samsung A24 4Z, and this just might be one of the best budget phones of 2023. Well, this is not available globally yet. Samsung announced this in Vietnam for a starting price of 64,90,000 Vietnamese dong. That is equivalent to $276 and it is rumored to launch here in Nepal as well for 30,000 Nepali rupees, which is equivalent to $230. Yes, almost $50 cheaper than in Vietnam. And for that price, this will sell like a hot cake. So why? Well, it provides a full HD Super AMOLED panel, 90Hz refresh rate, a very capable MediaTek Helio G99 chipset, and its main highlight here is the 50 megapixels OIS enabled main sensor. So Samsung has been using the same unified design on all of its A series smartphones. So the A24 also looks like the A34, A54 or even the S23 for that matter. But they have gone for a glossy finish on the A24, so it catches fingerprints pretty easily. Even though this phone uses plastic all around, the plastic body, the plastic frame, it still feels premium in the hands. But I cannot say the same if you look at it from the front, because it still has the same V-notch and thick bezels all around. So on this side, we have the volume button and the power button. And the power button also includes the fingerprint sensor, and the fingerprint sensor works really well. Alright, moving on, we have the SIM slot over here, and it is a triple slot. So you can have two nano SIM cards and a dedicated micro SD card over here. Down bottom we have a headphone jack, a mic, a Type-C port and a single speaker. Well, the speaker quality is good, it is loud and it sounds nice as well, but a stereo speaker setup would have been much better. And on top we also have a secondary mic. Now something that's really good on the Samsung phones are the display, and it is the same with the A24. It has a full SD AMOLED panel with 90Hz refresh rate, and the 90Hz refresh rate is also very smooth. The scrolling, everything feels fast and smooth because of the 90Hz refresh rate. The color reproduction is also good. It feels saturated, and yes, it is pretty nice display if you're watching content on this like YouTube or Netflix. And for that matter, it also has wideband L1 certification for as full HD content playback on Netflix, and it also comes with 1000 nits max brightness in SBM. So yes, it is plenty bright. Now onto the hardware. This thing comes with the MediaTek Helio G99 chipset. It has octa-core processor and it is a 6nm chipset, and it is very capable. We have seen the performance of the G99 on the Realme 10 as well. And for the benchmark, we ran ANTUTU9 and it hits 3,60,000 mark, which is pretty good. But rather than numbers, I rely on my experience, and so far this phone feels really fast and smooth. Like no signs of slowdowns or lag. It is very, very fast, feels smooth as well. App loading times are nice as well. But what about games? Well, games can run pretty smooth on this thing as well. So we are playing PUBG here at balanced graphics and high FPS setting, and the game runs smooth. As you can see, no lag, no stutters. It is very, very smooth. Yes, you can definitely play PUBG at a good settings with good frame rate. So the main highlight of this phone is the 50 megapixels main sensor with optical image stabilizer. Well, along with that, it also has 5 megapixels ultra wide angle sensor and a 2 megapixels macro sensor. Now let me show you why OIS is really good on a phone like this. So even if I'm moving, or if the phone is moving while capturing picture, the photo will come out just fine. The shutter speed is not exactly fast on the A24, but still the photo will come out just fine, and that is due to the OIS. So I've already captured some photos from the A24, and the main sensor is very good, especially the colors. They look really, really nice and appealing. And yes, the sharpness is also good on the A24 from the main sensor. But the 5 megapixels ultra wide angle sensor is not as good, and you'll not be using the ultra wide angle sensor because the photos look, noisy, and the sharpness is also not good. And yes, you can get other phones with better ultra wide angle sensor at this price tag. Alright, now let's test the portrait mode on the A24. We'll adjust the effect, put it down to 3. We'll turn down the skin smoothness totally down to 0. The blur effect is pretty good. Yes, the edge detection is not really perfect on some complex objects like the hair, but the skin tone is really nice, and yes, the overall portrait photo looks good. So the videos are limited to 1080p 30 fps on the A24. Well, the video quality is nice, the sharpness is just decent, and the OIS works really well. Well, the footage looks stabilized when you're walking, but not much stabilized when you're running. So yes, we took this video using the A24 with stabilization on, and it's pretty good. Now, as for the selfie camera, we have a 13 megapixel selfie on the front, and now let's take a picture. So as you can see, there's not much detail on the face. We do have good lighting here, but indoors I did not like the amount of detail and the face tone indoors, but outdoor photos are really good. When you have enough lighting, the photo comes out really nice. The selfies are overall pretty good on the A24. So the battery is standard 5000 mAh on the A24, so you'll be getting around 1.5 day usage even if you are gaming on it for 2-3 hours. And for fast charging, it does have 25 watt fast charging support, but you do not get any kind of charging brick in the box. One of the best features of the Samsung phone is its OS. So ever since One UI update, the Samsung's OS is one of the best, and with the A24, Samsung is also providing 4 years of OS upgrades and 5 years of security updates. So that is really good, and not many manufacturers can boast that software update. And the Android 13 One UI 5.1, and it is the full One UI here, so you're getting all the features, most of the features that you get on the flagship Samsung S23 series. And it is really well optimized. I haven't found any bugs. The OS is really good on the A24. So that was all about the Samsung A24 4G, and it feels like a very safe and balanced option if you're looking for a phone that costs around $230 to $270 depending on the reason.